Hi everyone, it's Janis here. It's common for people to look for the latest and greatest strategies to become more productive and effective. How to make more sales? How do I get my content in front of more people? How do I manage my team better? While it is not a problem to learn and educate ourselves about these questions, the problem is that many individuals and businesses get stuck in this cycle. They endlessly keep looking for the things and forget that they have to put in the work and effort to produce the results. Today, we'll take a look at the Jay Abraham's book called Getting Everything You Can Out of All You've Got. This book shares the principles of how every one of us have more resources around us than we think and how can we utilize them. So instead of giving you direct tips from the book, I'll try to show you the overarching perspective of how to get more from what's already available to you. Number 1. The grass is greener on the other side. We often think that there is a better system to use than the one that we're using currently. Same like we are pre-programmed to think that the grass is always greener on the other side. Let me give you an example from my personal experience. As I've been managing multiple online projects, I have been using a bunch of project management tools. I started with the research to compare different tools and what features they offer. And of course, reading lots of user reviews. And after research, I decided to go with a project management tool called Basecamp. While using Basecamp, I developed websites and mobile applications. Me and my team used Basecamp for about 8 years, and it was great. But then we started to look around, as there were seemingly better tools to use. So I decided that it's time to step up the game and look for even better software. So I went to do the research again. The feature that we really wanted as a team was Gantt charts, and there were quite few tools that offered this feature. In the end, we decided to go with a project management tool called Team Gantt. This was one of the best tools out there at the time. We used the tool for a year or so before feeling a need to change. The tool was really good at Gantt charts, but was lacking internal communication structure. We were used to great communication structure with Basecamp, and now we had to live with something that was not as good in this perspective. The thing is that each project management software will have its strengths and weaknesses, and you have to decide what is most important for you and your team. That is why for my recent projects I don't use any software. I manage my projects with Google Drive spreadsheets and documents. It's maybe not as professional as project management software, but it gets the things done, and that is the most important thing. Number 2, use your time wisely. One of the reasons why people feel that they don't have enough time is because they waste it and don't manage it properly. The difference between productive and unproductive day is not so big. So while you might seem like you're doing a lot of things, it might be very unproductive. I recently experienced it by myself. 3 days went by and I had barely done anything productive. So last Tuesday I woke up and I felt that one of my teeth is hurting me. I had my breakfast shake and I started to work on my usual tasks. Tuesdays are usually my content production days, so it was time to write a script. Usually it takes about 3 hours to produce 1200 word script, but not this morning. It was way slower and I felt that interruptions were just coming to me. I constantly found myself distracted away from the topic that I was writing about. When I had my lunch, I realized that my tooth is really bothering me, as I couldn't chew through it properly, but I somehow managed it. After lunch, it was time to hit the gym. That kept my thoughts away from tooth pain as I was focusing on exercises, but after the gym, the rest of the day was spent on doing nothing. I booked myself to dentist for the next day to do the x-ray to see how bad it is and what are the options to fix it. Next morning, I visited the dentist to do the x-ray. There were only 2 options that I could do. First one was to do the root canal, and the second one to remove the tooth completely. I also got some painkillers that removed the pain that I was dealing with all the previous night and barely sleeping. I booked myself at the dentist on Thursday morning and I got my tooth removed. When I look back at these 3 days, I can see that I spent a lot of time on activities like walking and doing stuff that is not really productive. I know that the first day was a bit of a challenge as I didn't have painkillers, but on the second and third day I had them and I was able to work properly if I wanted to. I had a choice and I chose to take things easy, and I ended up wasting a lot of time that could have been invested in my projects. Number 3, you have more resources than you think. A lot of people forget that today we have a lot of resources at our fingertips. This is thanks to the evolution of the internet. Not so long, 20 to 30 years ago, it was not there, and people were a lot more restricted on how they can gain new customers and grow their business. Today, we all can establish our personal brands on platforms like YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram and become influencers in our field. Information used to be the resource that had a high price tag. Today, you can probably find almost everything for free online. You just have to Google it. And if you can't find it for free, then you can buy it in a form of online course for fairly cheap. That is education at your fingertips. Resources to grow business also use it to be harder to manage, whereas now there are platforms like Upwork and Fiverr where you can find all the resources that you need to grow your business. You can hire people based on their previous experience and reviews, and you can compare different candidates and how much they charge for their services. In the end, I want to emphasize the main message of the book. Stop wasting too much time on looking for new things. Instead, look around yourself, as you probably have more resources around you than you realize, and use them to work towards your goals that you want to achieve. If you want to manage your time better, have more structure in your life, and achieve your goals, make sure you check out my time planning application. You can set goals and track progress towards them, create time blocks and build your own daily structure, as well as log your time and measure your performance. Best of all, it's totally free, so press here to check it out right now. I'm working on new videos every day, so be sure you subscribe so you don't miss my next episode.